everyone. Sports 2.0, put the kids to bed version. I am your host, Rodney Knuppel. I am here flying solo tonight. Just didn't want to get a co-host. Just didn't want to, actually. I wasn't 100% sure what we wanted to do tonight. We're going to go another round of guest co-host. We'll figure out what we're going to do. It's pretty unanimous. People want to see various people on here. They want to see the show rolling. But tonight I figured let's just do it solo, and I'll let you guys join the comments. You go to the comment side, put a comment in there. We'll have it on the show. Really excited about tonight's show, talking sports with all of you guys. We are at halftime of the Sunday night football game. Good time to come on. Didn't do a show last Sunday because of the Sunday night football game, but we'll do one tonight. We'll get halftime. We'll get you into the third quarter, and then we'll sign off from there. About a half hour tonight, breaking down the NFL, maybe some Major League Baseball and things like that. All right, the National Football League today. Been an interesting day. I would say the biggest score would be the Baltimore Ravens win over the Detroit Lions. Now, not that is a massive win for Baltimore, but the way they won the game and the way Detroit lost that game with a 66-yard field goal from Justin Tucker, hit the crossbar, bounced up and went over. Impressive, and just a total Lions way to lose. They're 0-3 on the season. Ravens needed that win. They're 2-1 now, tied with Cleveland, a game ahead of both Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson, 287 via passing and a touchdown in that one. Let's go over the scores from yesterday. Bills beat Washington 43-21. Josh Allen continues to roll. He had 4 touchdown passes. Cole Beasley, 11 catches, 98 yards. Zach Moss, 13 carries on the ground. He had 60 yards. Buffalo is a machine. I think Buffalo is going to continue being really good. They lost that week 1 game. They've looked good since. I think they're going to be one of the – I mean, they're my AFC team to win the Super Bowl. I mean, my two teams, AFC and NFC, really have been pretty good with the Bills and the Rams so far, and hope that continues. Let's go to Cleveland, talk a little bit about that Bears-Browns game. We'll talk more about it later in the show, but 26-6 Browns. Bears did not score a touchdown. We'll talk about the Browns side. The defense was tremendous. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb were fantastic. They're a threat in the AFC. They have 2 running backs that are better than most teams' first running back, and they can ground and pound you to death, and then they got Baker Mayfield who can throw the football downfield. That's a really good team. Odell Beckham Jr. came back today, was pretty good, had 77 yards via the air. We're not even going to talk about the Bears. They didn't play. Chicago Bears didn't even play, so we don't need to talk about them. They lost 26-6. Titans picked up a win. They needed that win. They've won 2 in a row, 25-16 over the Colts. Derrick Henry with a $113, kind of a quiet $113 as he did not get in the end zone. And Ryan Tannehill only threw for 197 yards. But all Tennessee needed to do was win that game at home. Can't lose the Colts. Didn't lose the Colts. Tennessee's going to run away with that division. Jacksonville's terrible. Houston's terrible. Colts are terrible. Tennessee's going to run away with that division. They picked up their second win. An upset. The Chiefs were a 7-point favorite. They lost. They're now 1-2. Any concern, Kansas City fans? Are you concerned about your 1-2 start for back-to-back Super Bowl team? Won it, lost it. Now they've got a little bit of the hangover here. They're 1-2. They're behind the Raiders, behind the Broncos, they're in dead last in the AFC West. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 17 carries, 100 yards, did fumble it, back-to-back fumbles. Now, Justin Herbert, really good, and his target was Mike Williams, 122 and 2 touchdowns for Mike Williams. Chargers look good. They scored 16 in the fourth quarter and won that game. Big win for the Chargers. Saints beat the Patriots in Foxborough. Patriots aren't very good, guys. We can quit with the Patriots are going to contend. They're going to compete. They're not good. Mac Jones threw the ball 51 times. Okay, that's fine. Only had the 1 touchdown, 270 yards. Alvin Kamara was pretty good for New Orleans. Did not get in the end zone via rush. He did catch a pass for a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne was the leader for New England, 4 yards shy of 100, but New England 1-2 now. Falcons beat the Giants. Big win for the Falcons. Giants now 0-3. Saquon Barkley did get in the end zone, 51 rushing yards and a touchdown. Cordarrelle Patterson, 6 catches, 82 yards. That guy's been good. That guy has been good. He keeps being underpriced on your daily games. He's been pretty good, man. He's getting a lot of touches right now for the Falcons. 6 catches, 82 yards, carried the ball a little bit. Falcons 17-14 over the Giants. Another surprise, and maybe it's not a surprise because in the end, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers just aren't any good. Now, they did win that Week 1 game in Buffalo, which I still think might have been the biggest surprise of the season. Really, I mean, Pittsburgh winning in Buffalo after Buffalo had an early lead. But in the end, Pittsburgh's just not very good. Cincinnati 24-10 in that game. And Pittsburgh just could not move the football. They could not move the football. Just 10 points in the game. Najee Harris did catch 14 passes, 102 yards. Big day for Najee, but not enough. Bengals 24, Steelers 10. Arizona moved to 3-0. Jacksonville's 0-3. Kyler Murray 316 via the air. AJ Green, big day for Arizona. 5 catches, 112 yards. Jacksonville 0-3. Arizona 3-0. The New York Jets, we want to talk bad. They are just a bad football team. Tim Patrick lit them up. 5 catches, 98 yards for the receiver for Denver. Denver's 3-0. Teddy Bridgewater been good. Melvin Gordon III had a touchdown once again. 26-0. Denver defense is for real. If you played them in the daily games, they paid off today. Raiders, 2 overtime wins now. Both games at home, both overtime wins. They won 31-28 over the Fins. The Dolphins now 1-2 on the season. Raiders 3-0. Brian Edwards, big catch late. Derek Carr ended up with 386 and 2 touchdowns. Big day for him. He's had a good season. He's the top 3 for MVP candidate in the early going. Kyler Murray's obviously up there as well. And Matthew Stafford, another guy. But, yeah, that was Raiders just keep finding ways to win. John Gruden's team's 3-0 now. Rams beat the Buccaneers in L.A. Big win for the Rams. They're 3-0. Tampa Bay's now 2-1. Tom Brady threw for 432 and a score, but not enough. Deshaun Jackson, not the revenge game because, well, did he play for the Bucs? He might have, yeah. Deshaun Jackson has a revenge game for everybody, but he was good. He's still fast. 120 and a score. Vikings beat the Seahawks. They're both 1-2 now. Bad loss for the Seahawks, although it was on the road. I'm just following this Sunday night game. Big game there for San Francisco. But Vikings 30, Seattle 17. Good win for the Vikings. They're now 1-2. They are either a game or going to be tied with Green Bay, depending on tonight's game. That's 17-7 Green Bay. Green Bay could be either 2-1 or 1-2 after tonight's game. And then Thursday night, Christian McCaffrey left the game with an injury. Chuba Hubbard, 11 carries, 52 yards for Carolina. Sam Darnold, 304 passing yards, 126 of them to DJ Moore. Panthers, now 3-0 on the season. They beat the Texans 24-9. Tomorrow night will be the Monday Night Football game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Another big game here for San Francisco. Sorry, I'm live broadcasting the Sunday night game, but Monday Night Football game. Eagles, Cowboys, both teams 1-1. Cowboys 3.5-point favorites. Your total is 51.5. I like the Cowboys tomorrow night. Who do you like? Put it in the comments. Maybe we'll read some a little bit later throughout the show. But I like the Cowboys to win that Monday night game. All right, let's look at the standings in the NFL. There are 5 teams with undefeated records, and actually 6 right now. San Francisco's 2-0. We'll see if they can move to 3-0. They are driving down the field to possibly make it 21-14 here. San Francisco's looked much better here late. They got a score right before the half, and then they are looking like they're going to get some points on the board here. Rams are 3-0. Arizona's 3-0. Both those teams have won by an average of over 10 points a game. Been good. Carolina's 3-0 as well. They're winning by 13 a game. They've only given up 30 points in 3 games. Now, their schedule's been soft, but it's all about wins. Denver's 3-0. They've only given up 26 points in 3 games. The Raiders are 3-0. They've scored 90 points in 3 games. And that's it for the undefeated teams. Now, to win this team, the Jets are 0-3, scored 20 points, given up 70. Yikes. The Jaguars are 0-3. They've scored 53 points, given up 91. They're not very good. The Colts are 0-3. They've scored 56, given up 80. The New York Giants are 0-3. Now, they're a little bit snake-bitten. They've lost by an average of 6 points a game, been fairly close. Lions are 0-3. They have scored 67 and given up 95. So that is your NFL standings. So the NFL or the AFC East, North, and South, along with the NFC East and North, do not have an unbeaten team as of now. Again, we'll give you the final of this Green Bay-San Francisco game once it comes to an end. The 49ers are at the 25-yard line, about 2nd and 10. Down 17-7. Chance to cut it to one score for the 49ers. So that is your NFL look for week 3 of the National Football League. All right, let's turn our attention to Major League Baseball. Let's talk Major League Baseball a little bit. As you can see back there we are. Cardinal fans, 16 straight wins. Unheard of. Absolutely crazy, unheard of. 16 straight wins to the Cardinals. Swept the Cubs, 4-game series. Swept the Brewers in a 4-game series early in the week. Won 8 games this week. Been absolutely outstanding. But let's talk about some of the other teams. Yankees lead the Red Sox right now in the top of the 8th, 4-3. Why that is huge, the winner of that will hold a 1-game lead for the top wild card. Now, the loser of the game will hold the spot for the second wild card, but only 1 game up on the Toronto Blue Jays with 6 to go this week. So big games, big game going on in Boston. Boston took the lead, but the Yankees have stormed back. They would be 1 game up. Toronto would be 1 game back. Seattle, with their win today at 86-70, would be 2 games back. So we've got a race. Oakland, on the other hand, would be 3 games back. They're still alive, but they are in a world of hurt, needing to catch all of those teams. Red Sox, Yankees, Toronto, Seattle, 4 teams, 2 spots. And I guess you throw Oakland in there, it's 5 teams, 2 spots. San Francisco inside the 10-yard line now as a big catch there for the 49ers. But just looking at that, Yankees looking at win their 6th straight game and 89th overall. Let's look at this week's schedule as the Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Mariners, and even Oakland will have massive games that we'll keep an eye on and see what happens. They're inside the 10 now for San Francisco. I'm big on the Packers tonight, so obviously not wanting a touchdown here. Tomorrow's games in the American League. Seattle host Oakland. It's Chris Flexen. It's Cole Irvin. That's a big game. Obviously, both teams really need to win. Then you move to Tuesday, starts the 3-game series. Boston is at Baltimore. Orioles not any good. See, threw it out of the end zone. 3rd down. Boston at Baltimore for a 3-game series. Yankees at Toronto. So if you're Boston, you just need wins. If you can win in Baltimore, you're going to be in great shape. It's Chris Sale, it's Bruce Zimmerman. Massive favorites. Yankees, Toronto, one of those teams obviously is going to lose. If it's Toronto, they can't catch you. If it's New York to lose, you're going to gain on them. You're in great shape. Boston Red Sox in great shape, but they got to win. They got to win. Of course, Oakland and Seattle then will get together on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But it is for Boston to take. You know, Tanner Kern keeps mentioning the wild card is going to run through Boston. You know, tonight's game's a big one. Looks like touchdown San Francisco there. That is, I don't know, number 11. Who's number 11 for San Francisco? Ayuk, maybe? I'm not even sure. But Ayuk. Anyways, that's a big one. So we'll keep an eye on those games as Major League Baseball comes to an end. I'm going to text my friend here. He put San Francisco at 6.5 to 1 at half or right before halftime, down 17-0. All right, let's move to Thursday and Friday in Major League Baseball because then we'll wrap up the regular season in the series. Boston is at the Nationals. So again, Boston has chances to win there. They go to Baltimore, to Washington. The Yankees host Tampa Bay. Now, how incentivized will the Tampa Bay Rays be? They've won the division, but they would certainly love to knock out their foes. Toronto then hosts Baltimore. So again, you know, that's a nice series for Toronto. It is Seattle hosting the Angels. And Oakland, where's Oakland play? Oakland's going to go on the road. Let's find Oakland here. Who do they play on Friday? At Houston. Tough one for Houston. So Oakland looks to have a tough road there. All right, let's move to the National League. Let's move to the National League real quick. So the divisional leaders, obviously, the Brewers have already won the division. They're the only team in the National League that have won their division. The Braves sit 2.5 up on the Phillies with 7 to go. Phillies with 6 to go. Braves have won 3 in a row. Phillies now a game back, or have now lost today. They've got a 12.7% chance of making the playoffs. Mets, Marlins, Nationals eliminated. National League Central, Brewers 1, Cardinals 7 back, Reds 13 back. Reds are out of that. Giants lead the Dodgers by 2 games. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Giants will take on, they got San Diego coming up. I forgot who they play first. They have somebody in San Diego, while the Dodgers have San Diego and Milwaukee. So tough schedule for the Dodgers, especially sitting 2 games back. San Francisco hosts Arizona. Yeah, they've got a good advantage. They host Arizona, and then San Francisco will take on the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers have the Padres, and then they have the Brewers. Dodgers sit 2 games back. The loser of that game is going to play in the wild card. Now, the other wild card looks like it belongs to St. Louis. St. Louis is off tomorrow. They get the Brewers for 3 and the Cubs for 3. They've won 16 straight games. Their magic number is just 2. 2 wins or 2 losses, or what is it? Okay, 1, excuse me. 1 win this week as they are up 6 games. 1 win this week, or 1 Reds and Phillies loss, and that'll do it. Now, the Phillies-Braves thing's a little bit interesting, because if the Phillies go 6-0, the best the Braves could do is 4-3, which would tie the Cardinals if the Cardinals obviously went 0-6. So, you know, that one's about wrapped up. Obviously, you know, Cincinnati has a chance tomorrow maybe to gain a half game back as they play an afternoon game against the Pirates. But Cincinnati's about all but dead. They are going to finish 500 or better. They're 81-75. One team that may not finish 500 or better, the San Diego Padres, 78-78. Yikes. We see them a while back. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They have not been very good, and they look like they could struggle to even finish 500 on the season, and that is a huge disappointment. I just wonder if Jace Tingler is not going to make it through this fall of the San Diego Padres. Not a good look. Diamondbacks have clinched the worst record in all of baseball. They're 50-100. Well, no, not yet. They're 50-106, the worst record in the National League for sure. Baltimore's right with them at 50-106. So there's a race for the final 6 games of who's the worst team. After that, it looks like Texas is the 3rd worst, and then you got to go to Pittsburgh at 58 wins. Pittsburgh does look like they might be able to get to 60 wins, but they look like they could be on pace to lose 100 games as well. So that's Major League Baseball. Cardinals 16 straight wins. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're off tomorrow. Brewers, Cubs coming up the rest of the week. All right, let's move to college football. The college football scores from Saturday. Interesting games, some odd games, some interesting games, some teams that really, I guess, just aren't very good. You know, such as Clemson. Clemson's out of the national title picture. USC's still not any good. Texas Tech obviously is no good. They couldn't stop anybody, especially Texas's offense. Florida State's still bad. Alabama's still really good. I mean, it would just go down the line of the big dogs and what they did. So Alabama won 63-13. Bryce Young, 5 passing touchdowns. Georgia won 62-0 over Vanderbilt. Those 2 teams, best 2 teams in the country. 3rd best is going to be Oregon. They won 41-19 over Arizona. Big win for them. I guess Oklahoma's 4, but they have not been impressive. They just won 16-13 over West Virginia. Spencer Rattler hasn't been real good. 256 in a score, but just can't move the ball when they need it. But Oklahoma is unbeaten. They are the 4th ranked team. Iowa's 5. They struggled with Colorado State. In fact, the Rams led 14-7 at halftime. Iowa needed the final 17 in the second half to make it through September undefeated. But Iowa, Colorado State was a lot closer than people thought. And then the other Big Ten team in the running is Penn State, 38-17. They beat Villanova. They're 6th in the country. 7th, Texas A&M. They are going to be in a world of hurt after their 20-10 loss to Arkansas. 9th ranked Clemson is no longer in the national title picture as they lost 27-21 to NC State. I guess you can move Ohio State back up 59-7 over Akron. But, I mean, they've already got a loss to Oregon on the season. Florida 38-14 over Tennessee. And real quick, the Packers already punting. So San Francisco with a chance to take the lead now. Unbelievable. Packers off to that great start. San Francisco not been good since then. And the punt return for about 8 yards there. San Francisco now with the chance to take the lead. All right, let's move back to college football. Notre Dame, I think, is underrated this year. While I think the program is overrated, they just absolutely demolished Wisconsin. Now, keep in mind, Graham Mertz just kept throwing to the wrong team. Notre Dame scored 31 points in the fourth quarter. It was 10-10 going in the fourth. 31 straight for the Irish. 5 turnovers for Mertz. Irish dominated the second half. Another team eliminated from national title picture, Iowa State. Baylor beat them 31-29. Great win for Baylor. BYU beat South Florida 35-27. South Florida made a fight there. They scored 21 in the second half to keep that game interesting. Coastal Carolina stayed unbeaten with a 53-3 win over UMass. They are 4-0. Michigan's undefeated. They're 4-0. They beat Rutgers 2013. A little bit lower scoring than I anticipated in that one. Michigan State covered the spread. No, they didn't. They only won by 3.5 spread. Nebraska's now 2-3. North Carolina got drum rolled by Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech 45-22 over North Carolina. That's a Georgia Tech team that's really not very good, folks. North Carolina overrated. Auburn struggled, but they beat Georgia State. They needed 22 in the second half. They trailed 24-12 at half. Bo Nix, just 156 yards, 13 of 27 passing. UCLA went to Stanford and won 35-24. And Oklahoma State upset Kansas State 31-20. And several ranked teams went down there. I guess we're just trying to figure out who's any good outside of about 3, 4, or 5 teams or so. But it just doesn't look like it's going to be one of those years where anybody's going to have any chance of beating Alabama, Georgia, maybe Oregon. Outside of that, I just don't like it. This week, College Football Friday, Iowa at Maryland, BYU at Utah State. Ranked games, Arkansas is at Georgia. Big game there. Arkansas has been really good. Michigan's at Wisconsin. Can Wisconsin turn around? They're a favorite. Stop. I don't care if they're at home or not. Take Michigan. Louisville at Wake Forest. Wake Forest, 7-point favorite. Cincinnati is a favorite at Notre Dame. Another one. Just stop. Notre Dame wins that one. Monroe is at Coastal Carolina. Ole Miss at Alabama. Big game there. The Crimson Tide, of course, 2-touchdown favorite. Oregon at Stanford. Oklahoma at Kansas State. Iowa State at Rutgers. Florida at Kentucky. Louisiana State at NC State. Mississippi State at Texas A&M. 2 ranked teams that won this week. Baylor at Oklahoma State, both 4-0. The Cowboys, 4-point favorites. Indiana is at Penn State. Western Kentucky at Michigan State. Boston College at Clemson. Alabama is at LSU. Arizona State at UCLA. And Fresno State is at Hawaii. All right, let's move on to the Ryder Cup. Congratulations, United States. Big Ryder Cup victory. Big Ryder Cup victory. They absolutely did, actually just kind of smoked Europe. It really wasn't all that close. Just again, looking here, 49ers second, about 4 here in the third quarter. This is just surprising to me that Green Bay is going to fold here in the second half. 19-9, United States won here. Today's matches were somewhat interesting. Roy beat Xander Schauffele 3-2. Cantlay beat Shane Lowry 4-2. Scotty Scheffler took down John Rahm 4-3. Bryson DeChambeau beat Sergio Garcia 3-2. Morikawa and Hovland halved, whatever you want to call it, in their match. But really, from start to finish, United States dominated Europe. Big win there in Whistling Straits for the Americans. Third down now for the 49ers. Packers need to get off the field here. Need to get a stop and get off the field. Once again, I got a big bet on the Packers, so I really need the Packers. All right, let's move to the Gutless Choking Dog of the Week. The Gutless Choking Dog of the Week comes from my state, our state here in Illinois. The Orange and Blue football team plays college football. Absolutely putrid. Brett Bielema got to win to start the year. Has not been any good since then. Is not putting his team in a position to win games. And the loss at Purdue, scoring just 9 points, not acceptable, not very good. A bad Big Ten team. Packers got to stop there. So big stop on third down. Looks like they're going to force a punt. Just 9 points for the Illini. 3 field goals, and had chances late. Could not get it done. Scoring just 9 points. And then we move to today. Chicago Bears And the real gutless choking dog, Matt Nagy, brought in Justin Fields. Andy Dalton's sitting, whether he's hurt or not. A lot of conspiracies on that one. Is Andy Dalton actually hurt, or are they sitting him because they want to play Justin Fields? Regardless, you don't have Justin Fields ready, and you are not ready as a team for Justin Fields to be your quarterback. You put a rookie quarterback in his first start in a massive, massive position to fail. Justin Fields was sacked 9 times in the game. Justin Fields completed just 6 for 20 passes for 68 yards. Now, granted, he did not turn the ball over. Congratulations, Justin. Many guys would have turned the ball over several times. David Montgomery carried the ball just 10 times. Now, the game ended in a blowout, but it was not a blowout throughout. It was 10-3 at halftime. 3-0 at the end of one. Competitive. David Montgomery, give the guy the ball. Even in the third quarter, 13-6 heading to the fourth. David Montgomery just got 10 carries. He got 10 carries. I understand you didn't have the ball much. I understand Justin Fields couldn't do anything with it. Your offensive line wasn't ready. Your play calling wasn't ready. 3 rushes, 12 yards for Fields, 68 passing yards. I mean, they were off the field more than they were on the field. Continued to get off the field, not ready, no blocking, no play scheming. Matt Nagy, you are the ultimate gutless choking dog this week. And the double dose is the state of Illinois and the football. Illinois, 2 field goals in a loss to Purdue. Illinois, 3 field goals in a loss to Purdue. The Bears, 2 field goals in a loss to the Browns. State of Illinois, you are the gutless choking dog of the football weekend. All right, let's move to some SIA time. Some SIAs, obviously the official SIA of the San Diego Padres, as they have been eliminated. We've SIA'd them numerous times, but they are now eliminated from play. SIA, San Diego Padres. SIA Wrigley Field, last game at Wrigley Field today for the season, and that is a bad baseball team. Thank you, Chicago Cubs, for laying down 4 times this weekend to allow for 4 more wins for the St. Louis Cardinals. 16 straight. See you, Wrigley Field. We will not miss you. No one will miss you, Wrigley Field. See you, Wrigley Field. Other SIAs, SIA Detroit Lions. Justin Tucker, 66-yard field goal sent them to 0-3 on the season, so SIA there. SIA Tampa Bay Buccaneers, undefeated season. The undefeated season did not go well as they lost in L.A. See Juju Smith-Schuster, he left the game with an injury. Who knows how long he'll be out. Big Ben's also banged up. Pittsburgh, so it could be Pittsburgh Steelers if they don't start turning things around. And is it Mason Rudolph? Mason Rudolph going to be the quarterback as they move forward. A.J. Brown also left the game with an injury. Darius Slayton also left the game with an injury. It's the New York Giants. To the Atlanta Falcons winless season. They picked up a win against the Giants. So, and then the ultimate SIA is SIA Team Europe, as you came to the United States and got your butt kicked at Whistling Straits by the U.S. team. Really good U.S. team. I mean, just put them in a perfect position, a great course for them, set up nicely. United States looked good, and SIA Europe in that one. All right. That's it. That's the Put the Kid version of the Sports 2.0 show. I won't do that very often where I literally just talk, but I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about. 30 minutes of talking sports with you here on the Put the Kids to Bed version. I know I had a blast. I didn't get to some of your comments. Thanks for your comments. We do have 3:19 left in the third quarter. Packers lead 17-14. Packers did just pick up a first down. They need a sustained drive and need some points here. I would like a Devontae Adams or Aaron Jones touchdown for my parlay. I don't know if it's going to happen. We need some points here. It's 17-14 Green Bay. They're at the San Francisco 20 or Green Bay 25, so they got a long way to go. But a sustained drive here and some points would be nice. Put them up 10 as the Sunday night game comes to an end. All right, Monday Night Football tomorrow night. It's the Cowboys. It's the Eagles. Should be a good game. Cowboys are 3.5-point favorite. Who are you taking? I'll take the Cowboys. I think they're much improved this year. I think Dak's going to be good. I don't like Philadelphia. I think people are looking at last year's Dallas team and not looking at what they're actually bringing this year. I like Dallas to win that game. I think it could be a blowout too. I'm not in it. I'm not jiving with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll take Dallas in that one. I've also got Green Bay tonight. I'm not 100% sure they're going to come away with the win. So hopefully they do. But all right, I'm Rodney Knuppel with the Sports 2.0. Put the kids to bed version of the show. I'm back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Central Time for the USA Wager Sports Brief. We got all sorts of things going on. I know you're going to tune in to Tanner Kern coming unglued on this Yankees Red Sox series. He had the video last night. Yankees fans were all over him. There as one of our flagship sites in Talking Boston. Tanner Kern was all over that one. Got lit up by Yankees fans. If the Red Sox don't come back tonight, he's probably going to get lit up again, and he is going to be on major tilt. Now, the Red Sox do have first and third, one out in the bottom of the eighth. So who knows? But that's a big game. Both teams 88 and 67. Big game there as well. Best wishes to Andy Reid, hospitalized after today's game. Hopefully he recoups well and obviously finds his health. All right, I'm Rodney Knuppel with the Put the Kids to Bed version of the Sports 2.0 show. So long for just a while. Thanks for tuning in.